Well, what's going on, YouTubers? And I am the natural born thriller, the good boy gone bad. And if you don't like it, beat it. Because no one wants to be defeated. So, welcome everyone to this Impact Wrestling review, the show from April 26, 2018. This will be the fallout. When it comes to Impact Wrestling, they're in Orlando, Florida, in the Impact Zone. Your commentators, Josh Matthews and Don Collins. No Sanjay Dutt. What does that mean for Sanjay Dutt? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if he's still trying to get back to the ring to recover from his injury that he suffered, but I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. Didn't look it up, but I'll try that some other time. With a meeting with the roster, and basically he's basically saying that he's making no excuses of him losing to the title in a triple threat match against two opponents. Basically a three-way match, basically. And he kept saying that he's not here to make any excuses and everything. And he's like, but I'm still the grand champion and everything. And the Moose calls him up by saying, for a guy who says he's not making excuses, you're sure making a lot of excuses. And then also Ariel was like telling him that you're Mr. Impact Wrestling, stuff like that, and all that. He's like, you're not the champion, stuff like that. I don't know. And then and then Moose basically told him, screw yourself. He walks away. And also Ariel's going to continue talking while Moose leaves. And then also a couple of people start leaving. For those that are wearing masks. And then and then a couple of knuckles start leaving, and then a few people start leaving, and then he's like, "Oh well, the Kenny's over there," or something like that. Also was saying that, by the way. I thought that was funny. But yeah, that was that. The opening match, we get Brian Cage versus Trevor Lee, being accompanied by Caleb Conley. Highlights of the match. Basically, Brian Cage was dumping the match in the match. So, Trevor Lee, Caleb Conley did get involved in the match, but as again his clock's cleaned out by Brian Cage. Drill Claw, and gets the win. So yeah, it was a decent match. Not a great match, but decent match. Next we get to we get to Eddie Edwards arriving in the Impact Zone, and Tommy Dreamer walks up to him and say, "You shouldn't be here. You should be at the hospital with your wife Alicia." And Eddie Edwards said, "No, he's here to get revenge on OVE, and he's gonna finish the job basically." And by the way, Tommy Dreamer was wearing a Lucha Underground T-shirt, which by the way, it would surprise me if he ends up being on season 4's Lucha Underground. I don't know that yet, and I don't want to be spoiled with that. By the way, I just want people to know, I do not want to be spoiled about anything about Lucha Underground, or for anything else that's supposed to involve wrestling or anything else in the future. Otherwise, you'll be ending up like TM. I'm just saying. So Edwards goes into the ring. He calls out OVE and basically threatened their wives. Dave and Jay Cross. I'm assuming they got wives on their own, and basically they come down right into the ring, but then Eddie Edwards gets one with a suicide dive, and then basically Eddie Edwards gets a candlestick, starts hitting them and all that. Also, they show a video. Well, actually, he was going to be the candlestick to hit them with it. But here's what happened. So Eddie Edwards took one of them out, and he starts beating up one of them, and then the fight still continues on. Eddie Edwards was brought back into the ring by OVE, and then also Eddie Edwards goes for another suicide dive, which he calls it a shot of caffeine. Shout out to the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro, to both guys this time. He starts beating them up in the ring, and then they gain the upper hand, and then Eddie Edwards gets the one up on them again. Then Eddie Edwards gets the candlestick, and all of a sudden we look at the big screen, and Alicia is shown in her hospital with her eyelashes on, by the way. Basically, someone's going up to her, and obviously it was Sammy Callahan. He was in a wheelchair. He had a balloon to cover himself. He gets a scissor, cuts the balloon to show his face, and his face is all messed up, by the way, because of the candlestick and the barbed wire baseball bat and all that from Redemption. And then Sammy Callahan says, "We need to talk." So 8 hours runs out of the building to go to the hospital to um about the whole situation. And we'll get that later. Um, so Impact Wrestling show a video package of DJZ about his time in Impact Wrestling, and then also with his time with him being having a serious injury that he had in Mexico that could have been a serious career threatening injury or worse, a life threatening injury. And basically, they show a video package of DJG, getting stronger than ever after that, and then we see him make his redemption back into Impact Wrestling, because of the pay-per-view and redemption, and yeah, it was good. And we'll be seeing DJZ pretty soon on Wrestling on TV. Next, we get to Moose versus Braxton Sutter. Highlights of the match. Um, Braxton Sutter immediately gets the microphone. Immediately starts interrupting Moose as he try and make his way to the ring and all that. Also the match goes on. Moose with a first Braxton Sutter with a top rope was on the top rope, and then Moose goes for the drop kick. Nice drop kick, by the way, which sends him crashing to the floor. Braxton Sutter went crashing down to the floor. Braxton Sutter hits a suplex in the turnbuckle. Into the turnbuckle to Moose. Moose goes for he goes for the train to Moose Nation drop kick. He goes for the spear and gets the 3 count and the win. So yeah, basically Braxton Sutter loses. And folks, I gotta let you know right now. After I just heard, today, Braxton Sutter has been officially parted ways with Impact Wrestling. I don't know if he asked for release or they just releases him. Either way, he's gone. To me, good. He was fucking trash anyway. So moving on. So Moose gets the microphone, congratulates Pentagon Jr. on winning the Impact World Championship title, and it says, but they call him Mr. Impact Wrestling. I still don't know when they decided to call him that one. And he says he's going after that belt. So yeah, Moose is going to get a title shot pretty soon. I'm assuming it's going to be at Bound for Glory. I doubt it's going to be at Slammiversary. Excuse me. Mackenzie Mitchell interviews exhibition champion Matt Sydal about retaining his title against P.D. Williams at Redemption. And he thanks he did well his spirit guide, which I do give props for that too, by the way, for Josh Matthews not getting involved. So that was good. It says a referee in the back calls for help. I'm sorry. While Matt Sydal was being in the middle of this interview with Mackenzie Mitchell, so also we see a referee call for someone for help because a man was taken out, and then also and we see a layer. Lay. Who was laying down. But basically this guy, whoever, I don't know who this guy was, but this guy was laid out, and they had a red and black X on his chest. It looked like an X-Men symbol basically, but what does that mean? I don't know. So I guess someone with that symbol is going to be making his debut pretty soon, and whoever that is, we'll see who that ends up being. Next, we get to LAX, into the clubhouse. It's just Santana and Ortiz. They're still furious about what happened with Conan. He's been missing. He's been gone. They haven't heard anything about him, and they have to focus for tonight because they're getting a rematch against Eli Drake and Scott Steiner for the Impact Tag Team Championships. And Ortiz, by the way, he was tremendous in this segment because he was basically showing some passion in his promo and everything. That he's cutting with Santana. It was he was on fire. And he was more than on fire than I'm back from the clubhouse too. He was also on fire in the ring too. We'll get that later. All right, before I move on, total my wrestling for hour number 1, 2 matches. Number 2, here we go. We get the Knockouts champion Ali defend her title against Taya Valkyrie. So the match happens. Taya Valkyrie and Ali were having a good match, by the way. Taya Valkyrie was being a little stiff to Ali, but Ali was being stiff back to Taya Valkyrie too. And basically, Taya attacks Ali before the bell rings, basically for early advantage. Ali connects with the repeated running strikes in the corner. Ali gets fired up, and she was getting a lot of fire. She was getting lots of firing up in this match against Tyra Valkyrie. She goes for a big Russian leg sweep. Tyra Valkyrie attempts to go for the role of Valhalla, but Ali counters and goes for her best super kick ever that she ever did. Then she goes for the code breaker and gets a 3 count in the win. So your winner, still match champion, Ali. Now, was this mean for Taya Valkyrie? I don't know. She's jobbed so far to the assassin, the demon assassin Rosemary. She's now jobbed to Ali twice. I mean, if they're looking to have Taya Valkyrie, job, why couldn't they have Taya Valkyrie job to Kiera Hogan at Impact Wrestling? I mean, for Impact Redemption, in my opinion. But whatever. But after the match, also we get Su Young's undead bridesmaids coming with a coffin down to the ringside. The lights goes out. Lights goes back on, and Su Young attacks Ali from behind, beats up on Ali, and then she's gonna put it on the coffin. Also, the lights goes out again. Lights comes back on, and there she was, the demon assassin Rosemary. And folks, I call this. This is the feud that they need to go with Su Young after her feud with Ali. Basically after Impact Redemption, that pay-per-view. But the whole thing with Su Young not getting the job done against Ali. Now they gotta move away from that feud to go to a new feud between Rosemary and Ali. I mean Rosemary and Su Young, the dream match, in my opinion, to happen between Rosemary and Su Young, because those two are alike. The Undead Bride, Su Young, versus the Demon Assassin, Rosemary. That's gonna be a fantastic match. Also, the lights goes Ali, so because they're called Demon Bunny, as an ally. So KM approaches Falaba, apologizes to him, and blah blah blah. And then he says that next week we're gonna be partners. See you next week. Whatever. Eddie Edwards now finally arrives to the hospital, and he goes to find his wife, and basically wakes his wife up, and like, what did he say to you? And then she's like, oh, what are you doing here? What are you talking about? And again, wearing eyelashes. And also, also we get Eddie Edwards, threatening these doctors. I think the staffs, whoever, were Sammy Callahan, and they were not saying anything, and then until it was pushed both of them down. He gets on the clipboard to find out where Sammy Callahan's room is. So he found the room. He gets to Sammy Callahan and starts beating him up in the bed. He starts beating him up in the bedroom, on his hospital bed, assaulting him and all that. Sammy Callahan couldn't fight back because again he can't. He's been being battered and all that. And then A. Edwards grabs a pillow and literally tries to kill Sammy Callahan with a pillow. Attempted murder. And then the doctors came out and pulled him off, and they called the cops and everything, and Edwards bailed out. And during this next segment, which is the match, it was announced that Josh Matthews. Wow. So this next segment was a match. Hold on a second, folks. Okay. The Impact World Tag Team Championships. You got the champions Eli Drake and Scott Steiner versus LAX, Santana and Ortiz. Ortiz gets immediately try to go after either Steiner or Eli Drake, one of those two, because Ortiz is fired up. He's furious, man. He's showing some passion here, man. Not saying he never showed passion before. He always had passion, but still, this is the fire up Ortiz I've never seen before. Excuse me. So before the match, I didn't mention it. Before the match, Scott Steiner cuts a promo, saying that people have to believe him. Last week when he said he and Electric was going to win the tag belts at Redemption, they meant it. And yeah, there you go. And he said something else too. I don't remember what else he said. I'm actually trying to remember what else he said. Something about tacos like that. It was something to that. It was hilarious though. If only I can remember though. I remember the taco reference was made because Conan. But anyways, as far as the match, Santana hits an assisted moonsault on Eli Drake. Santana kicks Scott Steiner off the ring apron, goes for the springboard, but Eli Drake counters, sending him into the floor, basically crashing into the floor. Eli Drake and Scott Steiner go for a double team move onto Santana. Referee gets distracted at this point, because Ortiz is trying to get involved, and Ortiz, again showing some anger, showing some frustration here, to try to get to these guys that could be the guys that could have been the ones that took out Conan. You know, um, so Scott Steiner hits Santana with an over the head belly to belly off the top rope. By the way, off the second rope, meant to say. And it was during that time, the match, that Josh Matthews revealed that Eddie Edwards has been arrested for attacking Sammy Callahan. I was trying to say attempted, attempted murder. You know, Ortiz hits Eli Drake with a Death Valley driver, just on their fall. Oh yeah, LS goes for the top rope, double team move, the finishing move called the Street Sweeper. Scott Steiner gets on the apron, gets kicked off by Ortiz. Eli Drake at this point sees Ortiz, and see what LAX is about to do to him. So here's what happened. So Ortiz, I mean not Ortiz. So Santana jumps off the ropes to go to finish off the finish to try to finish off Eli Drake with the Street Sweeper. But Eli Drake catches him midair, power slams him, pins him, while Scott Steiner gets the leg of Ortiz and gets the 3 count and the win. So your winners, still tag team champions, Scott Steiner and Eli Drake. After the match, Eli Drake told the fans, that their victory at Redemption was not a fluke because they beat them again. Eli Drake said that not only that he's one half of the tag team champions, but he will soon be Impact World Champion. And when he catches his baby in, he's gonna be champion. And the Scott Steiner looks confused, but the Eli Drake continues ranting on. Also, Austin Aries comes out, the injured Austin Aries. Austin Aries says he wishes the fans were behind him at Redemption. He says the most important title in his Impact Wrestling is the Grand Championship right now, because he's got it. And he says he's going to regain the world title. And also we get the new Impact World Champion coming out, Pentagon Jr., the man with zero miedo, which is zero fear. So Pentagon Jr. throws in the ring. He cuts the promo a little bit, but here's the thing I didn't like about this though. They kept teasing and promoting on the show that Pentagon Jr. was going to have his championship coronation. He's going to cut a promo about being Impact World Champion, the new Impact World Champion, all that, right? It should have been his moment. This final segment should have been his moment, and then they could have done the interruptions with Austin Aries, with Eli Drake. They could have say that when by having Pentagon Jr. be out there and talk to the fans. He could talk English, by the way. Pentagon Jr. could talk English. To talk to them in English about him being Impact World Champion and being their champions. When it comes to him being in another company, saying that he's honoring everything, that they could have him doing that and everything, and then he could do this whole thing because yo soy Pentagon Jr. and yo tengo zero miedo. Something like that. And he just said too, by the way. He has he's Pentagon Jr. and he has zero fear, which means zero miedo. Zero miedo. So sure enough, we get it's basically Eli Drake and Scott Steiner attacking Pentagon Jr. and Austin Aries. They both take them out though. Also, Pentagon Jr. and Austin Aries have a stalemate. Austin Aries gives him the belt, only for Austin Aries to basically when Pentagon Jr. grabs it, and then only for Austin Aries to pull him back with the belt and say that he's come back for this belt. And the show ends from there. So there you go. What to expect next week for Impact Wrestling? Here's what we're expecting, folks. After the confrontation of Rosemary and Su Yung, they're already going to do the match now. They're already going to do the match for next week. As a women, you gotta build build this up first. Build up the intention of this first, and then you could do a match before you decide to do a big main event match for I mean a big match for these two for pay-per-view. To me, that's what they're lacking right now. I did, but whatever. Um, Also, we're gonna have Drago, who teams up with Phantasma and Aerostar to take on DJZ, Desmond Xavier, and plus more to be on the show for next week. And by the way, tomorrow wrestling for our number two matches. So tomorrow wrestling overall for Impact Wrestling from April 26, 2018, 4 matches. My overall scoring for the show, I'm gonna go 7 out of 10. It was a good show, and that's for all Impact Redemption results of what happened for Impact Wrestling's Impact Redemption pay-per-view. So I thought the show was pretty good. It could have been better. Yes, it could have been better, but hell, I got a couple things on the show that I wanted. So and I'm good with there. So that being said, folks, I'm done. Thank you for watching. This is your first time watching me, my name is Robert Serrano Jr. and I'm the Natural Born Driller. Please subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you didn't enjoy this video, give it a dislike. The choice is yours and yours alone. So I'll see you all after this one. But for now, peace on the streets. I'm out. Take care, guys.